Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's training on listing presentation, present at listing, making an offer, and price negotiations. My name is Robert, and I want to thank you all for joining. As a reminder, we are recording our session, and as always, we will share this recording with you later this afternoon. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourselves or type it in the chat box, and I will respond to all of your questions. All right, so today's training is very important for us as realtors. We're going to learn how to build a listing presentation. We're also going to learn how to submit offers and negotiate proper pricing. All right, as you may have noticed, I am inside of the Miami Gateway. Today, we're going to use several tools like the MLS. We're also going to learn how to use Agent 3000 to build our listing presentation and RPR. RPR is going to help us build that CMA report that goes along with your listing presentation. Finally, we're going to learn how to use MLS offers to submit offers directly to selling agents, and then as a buyer agent, all right, how to submit offers to selling agents, and as a listing agent, how to receive offers from those buyer agents. All right, so I think the first thing that I want to cover is I want to make sure that you guys know how to prepare marketing material when you are going to present a listing. You guys should all have your listing presentations professionally done. And we have a system in place called Agent 3000 that allows us to prepare lots of marketing material for free. You guys will look for Agent 3000 and you will log in. We do have Agent 3000 marketing classes that you guys can take. Also, there's a recording in my playlist that's on YouTube that you guys can watch a pre-recorded class already. Now, once inside of Agent 3000, guys, you want to go to the upper left corner, make sure you click on settings and place all of your information here, and you want to save it. And then also make sure that you add the Elite Ocean View Realty logo and then your photo as well. All right, that's all part of your branding, because the next step is to actually create a seller's guide. And for you to create a seller's guide, we would want you to have your branding on it. All right, so part of a listing presentation is the CMA, but another part of the listing presentation is going to be some marketing material. All right, so on the left-hand side, you're going to look for brand and market. And then we're going to look for branded ebooks. These are wonderful seller guides and buyer guides that you guys can create. And it's very simple, folks. You're going to choose which type of guide you want to create. There's a seller guide. There's also a buyer guide. And there's a seller guide, 5 hacks. So like 5 tips. And then there's a first-time home buyer guide. Now we are going to create the seller guide and also the seller guide 5 hacks. I already have them. All right. But just to let you know how you create it, you're going to choose the type of guide that you want to create. You want to add your profile photo. You want to add your profile logo. And then optional right here, you can also add your biography. If you guys do not have a bio just yet, that's fine. You can leave it blank. Otherwise, if you already have a bio, you can go ahead and copy and paste into here. You can type it. And then you want to simply just click on create ebook. All right. So let's go ahead and show you what the seller guide looks like. Right here, I have a seller guide, and this is the PDF URL. We're going to click here, and it's going to open up our seller guide. Guys, this is 14 pages that you're going to include in your listing presentation. All right. So first here is the home page, or the first page, right? And it says home seller guide presented by, and then your name and your brand, right? Your information. Next is experiencing the difference. So it's going to help you sell yourself, right? It's going to help you present to the seller why you are so important in this step of selling their property. All right, so right here we have discussing your needs, discussing your home, market conditions, organizing and maintenance, lockbox and sign, photos and video, open houses, pricing, home inspection and appraisal. Then the about, which is about you. This is where your biography will be placed. and then your contact information is going to finalize the report. All right. So when you go to a listing presentation, this is pretty much one of the first things you want to show them. You want to show them why we are so important in this process of selling a home, especially if you're sitting with a for sale by owner. Okay. So right here, it's going to discuss your needs. So their needs, and then discussing their home, exterior and interior. This one is going to be discussing the market conditions. So be prepared to talk about the market. All right. And then we're going to show you how to create a market analysis. Organization and maintenance of the exterior and interior. Make sure everything is clean and everything is ready to be marketed and sellable. Lockbox and sign. Make sure they know that their home is going to be secured, right? And we're going to have an electronic lockbox ready on their door to show properties. And then, of course, the marketing signs as well. Photos and videos, make sure they know that we're going to take photos and videos of their property. We're going to have them professionally prepared for them. Open houses, also make sure they know that we are going to host open houses routinely until we sell the property. And then benefits of proper pricing. This is important. Usually when we talk about pricing, we are going to talk about pricing towards the end of our presentation. We want to make sure that we have them already pretty much convinced that we are the right realtor for them before we present pricing. But of course, benefits of proper pricing is, how is the market behaving? Can we list towards the higher end of the price range, or should we list towards the middle or lower end of the price range? Home inspection and appraisal, make sure that they know there will be an inspection once an offer comes in and an offer is accepted. There will be a home inspection and there will be an appraisal, and they would have to be available for those as well. And then lastly, the about section. This is my bio. All right, so this is my bio on my seller guide, and then the last page is my contact information. This is a professional seller guide that you guys can create very simply by using Agent 3000. Once again, inside of Agent 3000, go to brand and market, and then click on branded ebooks and create your seller guide. Let me quickly show you that you can also create like a flip book. All right, a flip book is like a magazine. Take a look here. All right, I'm going to click here. That's the flip book code that you would use on your website. All right, you would have to then go to your website and paste this code. Let me show you my website real quick. This is not really part of my listing presentation, but I do have this on my website. I'm going to click on guides right here, and let's click on the seller guide. This is a magazine. Right? This is what a flip book is. So let's take a look. It's allowing users and viewers to go through the entire seller guide in a magazine style. Okay. And you can too do that, right? By going and not downloading the PDF, but clicking on flipbook code, and it's going to give you the code that you will then paste on your website. All right. Now, those of you that are interested in a website, this is kind of on a side note. This website is from Agent 3000. So all you need to do is upgrade and pay the $20 monthly service to get a website and to use their CRM, which is a really good deal, guys. Really good deal. All right. So you are going to definitely need a seller guide. Now I want to show you also the seller hacks. Right? 5 seller hacks right here. I'm going to open this up and show it to you. Once again, this is going to talk about 5 tips to selling a home. Right? 5 tips to selling a home. Right here we have digital retouching. So there are resources and tools available to us so we can edit photos and we can stage virtually the homes as well. So this is digital retouching, virtual staging. There's also here, address your shortcomings. And then right here, we have make an offer. And then lastly, we have advertise the mortgage. Now, this is 5 seller hacks that you can also include in your presentation if you'd like. And once again, that's through Agent 3000. Let me tell you something here, guys. I went to see a property last week where there was so much furniture and there was so much, the home was very cluttered and it's not presentable at all. You can use, if this is the fact, right? If this is your listing and you don't you feel embarrassed using the photos, you can take the photos and you can use this program right here, virtual staging AI, and you can pretty much upload the photos in there and remove the furniture and kind of clean out the photo from the furniture, and then you can virtually stage the home with new furniture. All right, so you can do that using this virtual staging AI that you see here. All right. So going back here, guys, that's the seller guide and the seller 5 hacks. Now, aside from having these two in your presentation, you also want to have the CMA report or the seller's report. And for that, we are going to use RPR. Okay, so RPR is another one of those services that's here inside of our gateway, and it's this one right here. All right, so once we go into RPR, up here, you're going to place the address of the property that you're going to prepare a listing presentation for. All right. Good morning, Donna. Good morning, Derek. Thank you for joining us. Guys, please let me know if you have any questions. All right, this is an interactive class. Of course, I'm showing you how to use these services, but you guys can ask questions as well. All right. So once inside of RPR, we are going to go ahead and pull up the property that we're mostly interested in, right? The property that we're going to present a listing presentation. So right here, you're going to enter the address of the property. Now, of course, being that this is a class, I've already chosen a property. I've already chosen a property here in Coral Gables, 1210 Pizarro Street. Now, I've also already done the CMA report, okay? And now, of course, if you don't have the CMA report, I am going to show you how to get this done. And all you need to do is come down here and you're going to click on Create CMA. In my case, it says Edit CMA. So we're going to go ahead and just click on Edit CMA, just like if you were creating a CMA. There are 5 steps to creating a CMA, seller's report, and RPR. Step number 1 is always to confirm the home facts. So all you need to do is come here and you're going to go down and you're going to confirm the facts. Now, if there are any changes between public record and what the home currently has, then you're going to go ahead and make the changes on the right-hand side. Here's an example. Public records state that the property has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Let's say you speak to the owner and the owner tells you, no, it's actually 4 bedrooms. Then you're going to come to the right and you're going to make those change. You're going to update it here and you're going to place the number 4. Same thing with the bathrooms and square footage. And then you're going to come down here and you're going to click on confirm facts. Step number 2 is going to be to search for your comparables. Now, as I mentioned, I already have a comp report created. So this is just part of me preparing for this class. I'm going to go ahead and just show you. We're going to click on edit. And the way that you search for comps is that you are going to search for single family homes, active pending, active under contract, and closed sales. You're going to search for closed sales within the last 6 months. Okay. And then you're going to search with a minimum of 3 bedrooms and a minimum of 2 bathrooms. Within a square foot range of 1,000 to 1,800. The property is 1,424 square feet. And then for lot size, you're going to be between 3,900 and 6,600. The lot size square footage is 5,250. Okay. Once you're done there, you're going to click on search. And then you have all these comparables in the area. This pin right here with the black shade, that is your subject property. All right, you can draw multiple shapes, boxes, radiuses, or polygons, or you can use the geography to stay within the same neighborhood. I'm just going to go ahead and draw a rectangular shape, right? We're going to go ahead and select box, and I'm going to draw a rectangular shape just like this. and we're going to release, and we're going to click on search in this area. That's going to provide us with some comps, right? We have right here, 1 comp, 2 comp, 3 comp. Those are comps that I selected in the when I was preparing for this class. So you're going to select those. Now, I also want you to notice that there are some active and pending comps down below. All right. If you'd like, you can also choose these. So if I come here and I choose that one, this one, and this one, it's going to somewhat make a difference in my pricing. Right now I'm looking at a range between 914,000 and 1,150,000. All right. If I was to remove some of these down here, then the price may change. So since I am preparing a listing presentation, I'm going to present this to the seller. It is important for us to include active listings as well. They need to see their competition and what they are asking for. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and include the solds, also include the actives, and then come here and click on update valuation and close. Guys, I'm going to take a quick pause here and let you guys know that on Thursday at 10 in the morning, I'm having a CMA workshop. All right. Those of you interested in learning how to create CMAs using Matrix, IMAP, and RPR, and how to properly evaluate properties, that's the class for you. We're going to learn how to analyze the market, and we're going to learn how to pinpoint the correct price range for a particular property. So I look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning. All right, so here we have $1,025,000 is the average of my comparables. Now, the next step is right here. We're going to recommend a price. Notice how I skipped over adjust comps because we do not have to adjust comps. We chose properties that are pretty much of the same size, within the same neighborhood, and sold within the last 6 months. If there are no comparables and we have to choose homes that are a lot larger or smaller, then yes, you would adjust your comps. Otherwise, it's not really necessary. We're going to move right into review my comp analysis. I'm going to click on edit, and then based on my range of 914 to 1,152,000, what price as a listing agent do I recommend we sell the property at? So of course, you need to know some details on the property, right? You need to know whether the property is in really good conditions or fair conditions or it's in poor conditions. So pretending that the property is in really good conditions, then we're going to say, you know what? I'm going to list this at $1,105,000. All right, $1,105,000. I stayed below the max price. All right, but I am above the average price. That's my pricing. If buyer agents representing buyers come in and start looking at the home and they place offers and the offers are above my average price, then as a seller, I should feel comfortable selling the property at that price. Now, if we are the only home that's going to be on the market or in the market, then go ahead and set your price. We can come here and say, all right, 1,150,000. All right. And we're going to be asking towards the upper end of the market value. So it really just depends on the opinion on the conditions of the home, and then of course how aggressive your seller is. If your seller wants top dollar, then you're gonna go towards the higher end of the market. If your seller is content on receiving fair market value or average price, then leave it at right around 10% over $1,025,000. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just put here $1,150,000. Click on save. Now that becomes my recommended price. All right, so in the report, we are gonna show them our recommended price. We're also gonna show them the average price. Let's click on create a report, guys. And then we are gonna create what's called the seller's report. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and click on run report, and my report's gonna be ready in a few minutes. All right, I'm gonna open here real quick and show you that I included the seller hacks in this report. And how you can do this is by going to the right-hand side and see where it says manage custom pages. You can upload any PDF that you have. You can upload it to your report. So that's what I have done. And I included the seller hacks in my report. And you're going to do the same thing. Okay. Here is my report. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in real quick here to show you the report. So you're going to print this. And this is what the RPR sellers report or your listing presentation looks like. All right, cover page. All right, right here we have our recommendation, right? 1,150,000. Here we have the map showing where the comps are located. Here we have our side-by-side comparables. All right. And then here we have our side-by-side of our active listings. Here we have one property sold at 836,000 back in November. Here we have one property that sold at 1,060,000 back in October. Here we have a property that sold just last month in March at 1,050,000. And here we have another property that sold at 815,000 in February. And then here we have a property listed at 999,500, 47 days on the market. Here we have another property listed at 925,000, 71 days on the market. And then this one is listed at 1,175,000, and it's been 60 days on the market. All right. Now you're gonna see that the median price is almost $1 million. It's $999,500, while your average price ended up being 1,025,890. So slightly above the median price. And then we are recommending 1,150,000. So when preparing a listing presentation and you're going to visit the seller, you're going to take this report with you, right? You're going to take this report with you alongside the seller hacks, all right? Alongside the seller hacks and your seller guide, okay? Now, when they ask you about photos, you know, if you're going to take your own photos, that's great. Also, we do have photographers that are available to us through Elite Ocean View Realty and also through your membership to the Miami Association of Realtors. When they ask you about lock boxes and signs, of course, if you are planning to place the property on an electronic lockbox, you want to sign up and purchase a super lockbox. And then, of course, you want to purchase your sign. When it comes to open houses, you are going to create open houses for the specific dates, and you're going to market the open houses on the MLS and on social media, of course. And then when it comes to market conditions, you're going to present the market conditions. Does anyone here know how to look at the market conditions around this neighborhood? All right, I'm going to show you that. So we have our seller guide, we have our seller hacks, and we have our listing presentation. You're going to print all this, put it in a nice folder, and go present this to your seller. Now, how do we get that market conditions report? Okay, so you're going to come here to where it says more market reports inside of the MLS. And you're going to go and click on the market conditions report, which is the 1004 MC report. We are going to select active, pending, and closed. And when it comes to close, we are going to select 0 to 365 days. We're going to click on single family home, and then right here where it says within a quarter mile, we're going to switch it to half a mile and then place the property address to the right-hand side. You don't want to do a market conditions report for an entire zip code or an entire city. You can, however, we want to know how the market is behaving within a half a mile range from the subject property. So we're going to put in here the address of the subject property. All right, and we're going to go ahead and hit enter. And there it is in Coral Gables. We're going to select it. Next up, I'm going to make sure that we stay in Coral Gables because that address is very near the Miami city limits. So we're going to make sure that we're staying in Coral Gables. All right. So active, closed within a 1 year's period, pending, single family home, half a mile from the address of the property. Make sure you select it. And then make sure you put in the city the property is located in, and then click on generate report. Guys, this is your market conditions report that you're also going to include in your presentation. How many of you have ever seen an appraisal report? Have you studied an appraisal report? All right. This here is part of the appraisal. So when an appraiser is doing their job, right, when they're doing their market study, they're going to include what's called the 1004 statistic report. So the first 6 months of your study, then followed by the next 3 months, and then ending with the last 3 months. The first line is the number of comps sold. This here is the number of comps sold per month. This one is the number of active listings or active inventory. And then this one is your absorption rate or your months of housing supply. So let's all go all the way to the end. And let's look at January 1st through April 2nd. In that 3-month period, there were 11 sales. That's 3.5 sales per month. Oops. Can you all see my screen? Yes. All right, so that's 3.5 sales per month. Well, has it picked up? It definitely picked up from the previous 3 months, right? Because right here we were at 2 sales per month. Now it's at 3.5 sales per month. But to begin the study, the first 6 months, we were at 5.5 sales per month. So it did drop during the last quarter of last year, and then it picked up just a bit in the first quarter of this year. Now take a look at the inventory from 5 listings to 8 listings to 21 listings. So the inventory has increased. And then your absorption rate or months of housing supply goes from a little less than a month to 4 months to almost 6 months of inventory. So this is trending towards what? It's trending towards being more of a buyer's market. All right. So when you're studying the market and you're going to explain to the seller, hey, here's the situation. If you were selling your property a year ago, you'd have very little competition. You'd have only a little less than 1 month of inventory. And then the last quarter of 2023, there were 4 months of inventory. But now entering 2024 in the first quarter, you're looking at 5.7 months of inventory. That's 21 active listings, and they're selling 3.5 properties per month. So you have more competition. So naturally, what's going to happen to the price of a property when it's trending towards the buyer's market? I want you guys to take a look. This is very important. We went from $1,550,000 down to $1,030,000 for the comparable sales prices. All right, that's in general within a half a mile radius. We went from $1,550,000 down to $1,030,000. Our list prices have gone down from $1,442,000 to $1,299,000. So even the list prices, the current 21 homes that are for sale, the median list price is now at 1.3 when it used to be 1,442,000. All right. So it's time to educate our sellers so they can make a smart decision when it comes to their asking price. Okay. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and close this out. Make sure that you guys know how to create this report and include it in your listing presentation. There is absolutely no need as a listing agent to order an appraisal, right? Buyers normally will order an appraisal through their lenders. And as a listing agent, when presenting our listing presentation to our sellers, we should be confident in what their property is valued at and what price should we ask. Now, when you are listing a property and the property comes in at, like this one here, comes in at $1,700,000 on average, guys, you should list about 10% higher than the average price. Okay, so if someone says, no, I want to list it at $1.5 million, be aware it's probably not going to appraise and it's probably not going to sell. So what is 10% of $1 million? Right? It's $100,000. So if I were listing this property, I listed somewhere around 1.1, like we did on our report, 1.15, 1.125. That's an acceptable markup on the listing. Okay. Like that, you're going to get offers a little lower, but not too much lower. And you're going to be able to negotiate the proper pricing for your seller. As a buyer agent, if you're looking at a property, let's go back to the MLS. And I'm going to go ahead and click on one of our listings. Let's take a look here. All right, so as a buyer agent, when you're looking at a property and you see here the list price of $449, all right, we're gonna go ahead and click on IMAP because I want to run a quick CMA on this property. And we're gonna see what the property is valued at based on IMAP by clicking on Find Comparables. So notice 302 to 466 with an average of 385. So you're going to see the property, you're going to see the photos. Are there any other photos that I can see? So the reality is that there aren't any other photos because it's only been 2 days on the market. We really don't know the conditions of the home. It says beautiful, charming 3-2. So let's pretend that we saw the property, right? And the property is in excellent conditions. Well, IMAP is telling us on average, we should be somewhere around 385. Let's just say we remove this guy right here, right? Because it's sold for 321, while this one for 496 and this one for 460. So let's say we remove that. Now we're looking at an average of 427. So if I'm representing the buyer, knowing that the conditions of the home are great, then they're asking 449. You want to offer somewhere around 420. You want to offer right around that average price. Okay. You're going to make the seller happy. And of course, you're going to try and save your buyer some money. The idea behind representing a buyer is to get them the best value for the property that they're purchasing. Then, of course, our responsibilities and duties to our sellers as a listing agent is to get them the most money possible for the sale of their home. Okay, so negotiations are always going to take place, guys. We're not in the market right now where people are placing full price offers or offering over asking price. Okay, that was a couple of years ago. Right now, 449 is the list price. You want to start somewhere around 420 as a buyer agent, maybe, and negotiate closer to 420 rather than 450. The seller knows they may have overpriced their property just a little bit, so they're gonna come down on their price. Okay. How do we make an offer? Well, first and foremost, you want to check the broker remarks. If there are any instructions, any special instructions on making an offer, then you're going to follow those instructions. Of course, you're going to grab the contact information of the listing agent and you're going to call them and say, hey, listing agent, I'm got a client. We just saw your property and we're interested in making an offer. Before you write up an offer, you want to try and negotiate the price via communication with the listing agent. You know, you want to get a feel for if the seller is going to entertain the offer or not. Because if you are going to submit a very low offer, then why waste time writing up the offer when they're going to say no? Now they say, yeah, if you present an idea of 420,000 to the listing agent, and the listing agent says, yes, please send the offer. Now it's time to write the offer. And of course, you guys are going to go to Form Simplicity and you're going to write the offer for this property. Okay. Now, let me show you something here that many of us may not use, but it's a great tool. And it's called MLS offers. How many of you have seen this or used this before? All right. So this is an easy way for us to submit offers, and it's a clean and effective way for all listing agents to receive offers from the different buyers out there. All right, so let's pretend that I have an agent, or sorry, I have a buyer who's wanting to buy this property, and I spoke to Jose, and Jose, I'm going to submit you an offer. Right here in the broker remarks, it says submit all offers via MLS offer. So let's see how easy this is. We're going to go ahead and click here. And then it says here, make an offer. So we're going to go ahead and click on make an offer. All right. And then here we have the listing agent information. And then we're going to go ahead and click on make an offer. All right. So you're going to prepare the offer. You're going to prepare the buyer's name, buyer's email address. Only you will see your buyer's email address. The seller agent or the listing agent's not going to see this contact information here, okay? So we're going to go ahead and put in here Michael Jordan, right? My favorite client of all time. And then we're going to put in an email address for Michael. Let me go ahead and put in my personal email address. One of my personal email addresses. And then offer price. So we're going to go ahead and offer 421. And that's our offer price. Estimated closing date. Today's April 2nd. Let's say that we'd like to close in about 45 days. So we're going to go here to about, say, May 15th. That's our estimated closing date. Purchase type, it's going to be owner occupied. You have investor or other, it's going to be owner occupied. Earnest money. So we're going to have a $10,000 deposit. All right, we're going to have a $10,000 deposit. Pre-qualified proof of funds. Yes, they've been pre-qualified. All right, buyer closing costs to be paid by seller. Very important. Coming up very soon, you're going to see on the MLS under broker remarks, agent typing in that the seller's offering a percentage as concessions. That's very soon, coming this summer. All right, we're no longer going to see the commissions, right? So you're going to see concessions, and they may tell you, hey, 2% of the purchase price is going to be concessions paid by seller towards buyer's closing costs. Then you're going to put in here the amount. So what would be 2%, let's say, of $421,000? You know, you're going to go ahead and calculate that. All right, so we got here 421 times 2%, we're looking at $8,420. That's what you would write there. All right. So let's go ahead and put that in. Financing type, all right, is a cash, conventional, FHA. Let's go with conventional. Contingencies, all right, is the property going to be contingent on inspection or appraisal? of course, we're going to have an inspection contingency. So we're going to go ahead and put in here inspection. And then within 10 days, and then click on add. And let's do appraisal. All right, let's do appraisal. And then right here, we're going to put in 21 days. And lastly, guys, you want to write a little message to the agent. So we're going to write, let's get this deal done. And then come over here where it says choose file. And you're going to attach the offer that you created in Form Simplicity. Right? You're going to attach there the as is purchase contract here. All right. Now I'm not going to do this, guys, because this is a true listing, a real listing belonging to Jose Trujillo. And then he's going to get very excited that within 2 days on the market, he just got an offer. So I'm not going to do this, but this is exactly how you would provide the offer. And Jose, even if he does not participate in MLS offers, it's going to receive an email, and the email is going to state that a new offer has been presented by Robert Rodriguez for the buyer named Michael Jordan. He'll be able to open the offer, he'll be able to counter offer, and do much more, guys. So that's how you would submit an offer using MLS offers. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. We'll see you next Thursday, not next Thursday, but this Thursday, 10 o'clock for our CMA workshop.